This elephant of a technical trading book may deter some by its mere thickness and weight, yet it is a trading encyclopedia, a one-stop shop that covers all the standard technical aspects of trading in depth. We continue this trading book review series with Technical Analysis Explained by Martin J. Pring, an 800-page break heavy enough to qualify for a murder weapon, yet despite its intimidating composure, it can either be viewed as a challenging book for beginners, a raise whatever level you're at for intermediates, or a cover your knowledge gaps for advanced traders. In this review, we'll dissect the book in full, and to those of you who want to acquire it, there is an affiliate link in the description. Without further ado, let's take a closer look at what secrets those 800 pages actually contain. Technical Analysis Explained is literally an encyclopedia that covers pretty much everything you could ever think of when it comes to trading. Yet, despite covering it all, it still goes quite in depth on each and every topic. The book is structured into 3 parts. In part 1, the author Martin Pring goes through trend determining techniques. He starts off with the very definition of a trend, financial markets and their respective cycles, Dow theory, and then goes on to discuss everything from moving averages, price patterns, and all the basic indicators out there that every serious trader should know by heart. In part 2, he goes on to discuss market structure based on the major averages, sector rotation, time analysis, a guide on how to identify cycles, and then finishes the chapter off with a volume indicator and market breadth discussion. And finally, in part 3, Martin talks about other aspects of market analysis, as in the importance of sentiment, indicators that measure confidence, why interest rates affect the stock market, automated trading systems, and an overall touch-all-based foundation that quickly proves invaluable for a full market and trading understanding. For we cannot stress many times enough the importance of knowing how everything is interconnected. For without a holistic understanding of what affects what, beating the market will be a futile endeavor. This book makes sure you touch ground on everything you need to know within the infrastructure. Although it is a book that covers it all, it is by no means an ideal piece for the average beginner, as it typically goes deep quite fast on each topic. The only beginners it appeals to are either fast learners or people with a decent level of academic experience. Instead, it's rather a piece aimed at intermediary traders who look to take their trading to the next level, or for advanced traders who want to cover any knowledge gaps. I personally learned a fair bit from this book myself, even from the things I already knew, as Martin Pring presents several established things, theories, and indicators in a new light. For looking at the same things from a different perspective is always a beneficial way to gain a deeper understanding. For as always with trading, the more you learn and the better you understand the tools, strategies, and concepts, the more potent you'll be at making objective analysis and at distinguishing signals from noise. And the latter sure is the most difficult part within trading, counter to what many people may believe. For in the end, when 10 traders call on their own subjectivity, only one can be the most correct.
Well, I didn't know they made 9th place ribbons.
Oh, Jack, they got him all the way up to 10th place.
With that said, despite being primarily aimed at intermediate and advanced traders, some parts sure will be challenging. I personally had to reread a few selected sections before fully gripping what he wanted to communicate. But don't be discouraged, for although there are some hills to overcome throughout this marathon of a book, those hills require no more of an effort than a few deep breaths and an average amount of sweat to get past. And once you make your way over those hilltops, the view of knowledge is pretty breathtaking. As mentioned, Technical Analysis Explained is a go-to source, one that I often resort to myself for references and fact-checking. Any aspiring trader who has overcome the first levels of baby steps should make it a priority to read this piece, as it will guaranteed speed up your learning curve exponentially. If you can master whatever is written in this piece, you will be well on your way from a knowledge point of view to regular trading profits. Naturally though, it is up to ourselves to cover and clear any psychological gaps and hindrances that may stand in the way. For just because we know what to do doesn't automatically mean that we will. The language is pleasant, it is straightforward and without unnecessarily difficult words or explanations to seize the flow. Pring is in fact an overall captivating writer, and the preface in particular spellbound me and set a high bar for the rest of the book, and one that is mostly matched. Now, despite it spanning over 800 pages, it's a rather airy read with a lot of empty white space in the margins. The pages are not at all intimidating, and a good portion of the book is made up from graphs, as it should, being an educational piece on trading. In this sense, Technical Analysis Explained barks louder than it bites. On the plus side, except from everything just outlined, Technical Analysis Explained is a well-written, interesting and overall captivating book. It is to the point, and most topics discussed are relevant to anyone seeking to expand on their trading knowledge. On the downside, however, there are a few things that compromise the learning experience. First and foremost, the pictures and graphs, as these all come with a mixed bag of quality. Mostly they're fine, but a good chunk are actually rather blurry, messy and unaesthetic in my opinion. Stuff that takes you out of your learning trance and that comes at the overall reading experience. As it is an ambitious piece to say the least, it does at times become a tad overwhelming, both in extent and in information density. In this sense, it sure is an elephant that needs to be eaten in tiny portions. Naturally, it's hard not to be intimidated by books thick as your biceps, or tires depending on your diet, and it's in the very nature of such weighty books to struggle with keeping up with the reader's interest and focus. For there's a reason why most books are 200 to 300 pages long. With that said, this is not a fictional piece, and proper learning is not always meant to be a smooth ride. I will therefore not let this piece of invincible brick curse affect the grade. And finally, some, in my opinion, rather irrelevant and obsolete topics could have been shortened or taken out altogether, such as the piece on the point and figure charting, and equally so some indicators and techniques that no one really uses anymore, and which are neither available on TradingView nor on investing.com. In this sense, the book is not entirely updated to suit contemporary trading defaults, as in the normal brackets of which trading today is mostly conducted. With that said, the majority of the content comprises timelessly tested techniques, thoughts and strategies that still apply. If the author were to ever publish a revised edition, however, this might be something to consider. Grade 8.0. Take whatever time you need to get through it, for this book is a must-read and a must-have. That was all for now. Thank you and goodbye.